All right, looks like we're good. Sorry, we went live earlier, and for some reason, StreamYard was not going directly to my personal Facebook page. So, hey, welcome to day 6 of Swim for Recovery. That's right. We are banging out laps after lap after lap. And I'll tell you a funny story about that here in just a second. So, Swim for Recovery, I encourage you to text this domain name to your friends, ask them to check it out. Send it off to media outlets if you want, and just say, hey, check out this cool thing Rob's doing to create awareness. So we're going to talk about some addiction awareness things here in just a second, because I want to pull up one of these great newsletters I get that is just packed full of great content. So if you don't receive this newsletter, I'll tell you what it is here in just a second. It's not my newsletter. It's a different newsletter. But let's see here. We are going to pull up. So 396 laps in the pool so far. And I don't know if you knew this. I was doing some research last night, or actually early this morning. 1 mile equals 17.6 football field lengths. So every day I'm swimming 17, almost 18 football field lengths in the pool. Pretty cool. I think that gives a good visual of how much swimming this is. And today we're going to share my friend Shannon Turner's story today. So real excited about that. But also I'm going to show you some statistics, which I think are important. So check these out. So I get this recovery newsletter. I don't know if you have ever heard of this before or not, but the Addiction Recovery e-Bulletin is really a great recovery newsletter. And so if you're looking for some cool statistics, stories, all those kind of things, check this one out. But Addiction Recovery e-Bulletin. And down here it talks about, September's National Recovery Month. New Hampshire gets $40.5 million from opioid moguls Johnson & Johnson. You can go read these articles. I just thought they were interesting. Traffickers target teens with rainbow fentanyl deaths. Fentanyl pills and powder come in a variety of bright colors to make it more attractive. Thanks a bunch, a-holes, for trying to kill people. That's what I say. Like, holy cow, man. Why? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It just is so sad. The day heroin tried to steal my arm. I mean, there's an awesome story there. But this is just a really good newsletter they have. And look at this graphic right here. Naloxone cost increases from 2015 to 16. Look at the increases there. That's almost like what they do with people that have allergies and how expensive it is for, like, my daughter to have an EpiPen, and they jack the price up because they know without it, people can die. And that's the same thing with a lot of this. It says from 2014 to 18, out-of-pocket costs increased more than 500% per prescription. Now, I'll tell you this right now. What I do know for a fact is the manufacturers aren't spending 500% more to manufacture this stuff. So it's just sad. It's just sad stuff. So I want to be talking more about these kind of things throughout the month as well. But hey, way to go, Zach. French Montana. There you go. French Montana to help people in music business struggling with addiction. So anyway, I just think it's a great, all about shopping addiction. Hey, who has a shopping addiction? We need to get someone on this. If you have a shopping addiction and you want to share your story this month and you have a shopping addiction, let me know. But anyway, this is the, see, what else do we have here? Yeah, binge eating. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. So it's not just about substances. So this is called and it's not mine, the Addiction Recovery e-Bulletin. You can go pull it up online, subscribe. There's a subscribe button right here. You can actually become a subscriber to their newsletter. So just kind of cool stuff. Just wanted to share that with you. And now we're going to get into showing you the story. So a couple things. I'll tell you a really funny story. So I was in the pool yesterday, and I came home. I told my wife, I said, hey, babe, sorry, I was flirting with somebody in the pool yesterday. And she goes, oh, okay, because she knows I would never do that. And this lady was in the pool. She was really sweet and really kind, asking me questions about the pool, how long it is, and all these things. And then at the end, she goes, "Oh, and by the way, stay handsome." And I looked at her, I said, "Hey, you stay beautiful." She was an elderly lady, and it was just really kind of fun. She was having fun. So you never know who you're going to meet in the pool. But hey, swimforrecovery.com. Please go share it. Please share this post with people so they can hear the story. Please make comments today and just ask questions. I mean, we're going to be sharing Shannon's story. If you have questions about her story or questions, I'm here live. You can ask me. I'll be in the background here. And now we're going to pull up her story. It's not starting yet. Okay, good. All right, here we go. Enjoy listening to Shannon's story. Hello, and thanks for tuning into just another video awesome recovery story of a friend of mine, Shannon Turner. We met through a cool Life on Fire group and just kind of know each other throughout the years, but didn't really know the addiction side of your story. So I'm excited for you to share your story with us at swimforrecovery.com. And so, Shannon, go ahead and kind of maybe give a snippet, introduce yourself, and then we'll get into sobriety dates, drugs of choice, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Shannon Turner. I am from sunny to hot Florida.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing. So I don't know if like dog paddling would count. That's about the extent of my swimming.
Come on down, girl. I say if people are excited and they like to swim and all those things, then there's a way they can help kind of raise funds in their own community for this as well. And so yes, dog paddling does count because I know I'll do a little bit of that too. I didn't say I was gonna swim a mile freestyle the entire time. Like I mix it up and do like kicks and all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, I won't be like showing me swim for an hour every day. But
Oh,
um
wonderful.
yeah. So what's your sobriety date?
So 2002.
All right. Cool. 2002 was a good year.
2002. Huh?
20 years ago. So that's a good journey.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 decades and you're free from what substances did you like too much?
So alcohol was my numbing drug of choice per se. I did toe the line with Vicodin that wasn't mine, but it was in the house and I couldn't sleep. And but the Lord let me know in no uncertain terms if I continued down that path, it would be horrible.
Mm. Amen to the Lord telling you that. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
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 And all right. And then you said, yeah, you're out in California, which is cool. So part of what we're talking about today is kind of, the how it all began, right? With substances, how did it enter your life? And then how did that lead you to a point of no longer using substances? So what was kind of like childhood like, or what prompted maybe the drug use or alcohol use?
Childhood could be summed up into a Lifetime movie.
Okay. Let me
Yeah.
write that down. We got some producers on this thing. So there you go. All right.
And uh, when I hit 18, because I was, raised under the very structured, strict fist of mom's boyfriend. But when I hit 18, I moved out and I made up for a lot of lost time and I got drunk a lot. But it was funny because I would never get drunk going to a nightclub because I loved to dance and I didn't want to be off of my game. And
At least you had
however,
priorities, right? Yeah.
yes, I mean, why not? However, when I turned, I think it was turning around into my 21st birthday, and then I'm like, "Ooh, I could drink legal now," and God's like, no.
Mm.
So there I was at a nightclub, and I was, getting jiggy with it and dropping it like it was hot. Now I can drop it like it's hot. I just can't get back up. So yeah, that's what 20 years does to you. But I was just having a wonderful time, and I literally felt like I was in the midst of a sci-fi movie, and everything in the club stopped. Literally, God is my witness. For a brief moment, everyone froze, and God was talking to me and saying, "Are you ready to come back home yet?" Because I had gotten saved when I was 12. I just acted a fool from 18 to 21. And I really don't remember much from those years, except for I was like, yes, because I felt so empty. And within that week, I ended up meeting a really cute boy at work that invited me to church.
Oh, wow.
God knows what will get you in the door. And it was so funny because as soon as I got planted in that church, God said cute boy out of the church and moved him to another one. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did really well. I ended up getting married, another lifetime movie experience type of thing. But I lost my son, and I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant. We had just found out Anthony was a boy on Friday, and I lost him that Monday. And
Sorry to
when
hear
you are
that.
that far into your pregnancy, you will be induced and you will deliver. And that is what happened. I could not deal with it because I was trying to deal with all the other emotional and borderline physical abuse back then, plus trying to grieve. And we had a young son as well. And so I turned back to drinking. Thank God for Robin Williams. I was on the couch one night and I was just in such despair. And Robin Williams came on, and it was one of those old time comedy stand up shows. I laughed so hard, and that was the first time I feeling joy. I laughed so hard, and because I was drunk, I rolled onto the floor and I was just laughing. And I was just like, oh, well, a couple of nights went past that, and that depression came back. And I ended up taking I think it was Tylenol PMs, and I drank a lot. My ex-husband says that around midnight, somebody from our church that we were going to at that time called him and said, wake her up, wake her up. God woke me up to tell you, if you do not get her up and walking right now, she's not waking up.
Holy cow.
During that time that I was kind of in and out of it, I had a dream. And God is so good. I had a dream that I walked into the kitchen and there was this older young man sitting at the table. And there was a girl and a guy around the same age as him. And I was like, oh, I knew the young man was my son. I said, Josh, who are your friends? Both of them said, oh, Mom, you're so funny. Fast
Whoa.
forward right now, Joshua is 21, Trinity is 18, and Christian is 17. God was letting me know, girl, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Like, you cannot be towing the line of trying to take your life, and you've got to talk to somebody about the grief that you're going through. So
Wow.
that's kind of that. I do remember another time a couple of years ago. I had started a group, and it kind of imploded because not everybody that's in your boat is for you. And you got to be careful because they will sink said boat. Well, I was going through a situation like that. And I had always told my current husband, please, if they ever give you Vicodin for anything, I don't want to be around it. Like, I don't go, even though it's 20 years later, I will not put myself in a situation where there's drinking. I won't do it. And he had forgotten, and they had given him Vicodin for a backache or something, and I couldn't sleep one night because I was stressed. And I got up, and it was staring me right in my face. And I went to go reach for it, and I swear it's like the Lord stood right next to me and again said, if you go down that road, it's going to be doubly hard to get out. I got my butt into Celebrate Recovery for a few years after that to learn how to manage stress. When I was drinking all the time, it wasn't because I liked it. I drank to the point of blacking out because I was so stressed out and I didn't know how to manage it.
Wow. You girl, you've been through a lot, and it's amazing to see how, not surprising, right? But amazing to see how God just kind of like stepped in front of you and spoke to you. And your experience in the bar, the dancing thing, that was my story the night before I tried suicide, before I went down my own road, and then eventually and found recovery the next day. But God literally
Wow.
silenced the whole bar and said, you're done. And it got really loud again. So we've had those
Yeah.
moments, right? And we hear him and we listen, and what a beautiful picture of just God pursuing you, right?
Yes.
In that journey, in that process. And
I never thought of it that way.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Well, it's those things like God has bigger plans for us than we realize, right? And God had those for you, and just you were where you were, and then it was like, oh wow, huh, that's what that was, and you can look back on it and say, oh my gosh, there he was, and
Yeah.
he's always there, which people forget in addiction, right? Is always there, but what would you say was the moment that, like, what was the night before, the day before, the morning of when you stopped drinking? What was that moment like?
I'm going to say it was like an automatic deliverance. Like it was just the cravings try to ascension every now and then, yes, but I was so guarded on my whereabouts. So I was just like, if there's drinking, I'm not coming. Like I don't even like people to have a glass of wine when I'm going out to dinner with them. I just want no part of it because I think I've been this sober so long, God's grace, of course, but because I am like a hedge of protection with my atmosphere, I don't want to be placed in that situation. I don't, because I don't have an off switch. So I
Yeah.
want to always, I know that addiction side of me, and I always want to kind of go, that's a safety thing.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm doing these stories, is because someone's going to hear that story and resonate with you, right? And someone might hear that and not resonate with you. But it's your journey, right? No one can
Yeah.
tell you your journey is, like, is, hey, this is my journey. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. Like, I remember going to a wedding once. I met my wife, and she drank red wine, and I don't mind alcohol at all around people. But she turned to me and she said, we were dating at the time. She goes, "Hey, honey," and that smell of red wine just wafted
Oh
in front of
no.
my face. I go, "Okay,
Oh
boundary. We're not kissing when you drink." And I had to draw that with
yeah.
her for a while, and even still today, 21 years later, I don't want to do that. Like kombucha, has fermented yeast in it, and it tastes like alcohol, so I don't drink it.
Oh
Um,
wow.
it's crazy. So here you are, 20 years later, and not using substances, right? And even with, pain management and stuff like that too. So what do you do now? Do you still do Celebrate Recovery? What do you do to keep your spiritual conditioning on par?
So I haven't been to Celebrate Recovery in a while because just of schedules and everything. But and it did not dawn in on me until last week. I've written and self-published 20 books. I've written 5 coaching programs. I mean, just all sorts of stuff. And everybody's like, oh, that's great. That's great. But I'm like, no, I can look at each thing I've done. I was in so much pain that I was looking, and I didn't even realize what I was doing back then, but I was always looking for something to get my mind focused somewhere else because I have lupus. And it took them 5 to 6 years to even figure out I had lupus, but I will get such flare ups at times, I can't walk hardly. Like yesterday, storms came by. I got out of the car and both of my knees buckled, and I had to grab the car. But that is how I started my writing career. And are the books wonderful? No, because I was in so much pain. But KDP was the only place I knew where to publish them. So I was like, oh, I wish there was like a secret little place I could publish them and my kids could read them later. But yeah, that is how I got started. Is I needed something to focus on, and I love talking and I love writing. And then I discovered how I can write a book through talking, and I was set, good to go. It's like two of my favorite things. But even with all, like, I have events all the time, and I'm involved in this one course, and they give you amazing discounts. I think it's like new skills something. And but I'm always getting amazing discounts on their courses. And I was like, I was in a flare up. I was stuck in the recliner. And I'm like, oh, they have something for event planning. So I'm also certified event planner, but I don't ever want to do anybody else's events but mine. But it provided a great 3 days of just having something to look forward to. Because when I got out of the recliner, it was smack full of pain. But if I was in the recliner in a certain position and reading and studying, I was good. And I did not even realize all these years that has played a part in my sobriety.
Wow, that's what a cool revelation. I know you were sharing that with me before too, and I think it's your avenue, your outlet, right? It used to be alcohol,
Yeah.
drugs, or I mean, for some people it's that, or it's shopping or Facebooking or whatever. But yours, you're getting it out on paper, and each one of those books, I guarantee would bring value to people, anyone that would read them and say, hey, or they know someone that could benefit from them. So thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that too. It's a good healing tool to kind of get it out of here and on paper. And so yeah, cool. That's awesome. An 18-time author, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my husband's very lucky. I did not choose to like Amazon for pain relief. That
Yeah.
would be really
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Like, I'll be with you in a minute. I can't get out of the chair right now, but just leave them on the front porch because I'm having a flare up and I'm writing another book. So blah blah blah. But you're a lot of fun. I know you're out there inspiring a lot of people too, and I just appreciate you sharing a little bit. I know there's a lot more to your story, but just a little bit of your story during this Swim for Recovery campaign, just to give people some hope and encouragement. And you are definitely doing that, Shannon. So I appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All righty.
All right. Bye. All right, Shannon, thank you so much for sharing your story with us on swimforrecovery.com. Please, y'all, share the story on your social media, text out swimforrecovery.com to your people, and let them know what's going on. I mean, currently, I did the calculations. Hold on, I got to pull my phone out again. So hopefully you enjoyed the kind of like statistics and things like that we were talking about before. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Shannon. Shannon says, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Shannon, for sharing your story. Without that, we wouldn't have had a story today. So you're awesome. But when you look at 30 miles times 17.6, at the end of all this, at the end of the month, I would have swum 528 football field lengths, which is really kind of cool. So hope you had a great day. Please go check out swimforrecovery.com. And we'd love it if you would and support us financially and donated to our nonprofit to get a tax deductible donation, which would be great. Encourage your friends to do that. And hey, we'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day. Bye.